In this video, we'll show you 10 best things to do in Washington, D.C. We also created a mobile-friendly PDF document covering the top 10 things to do in Washington, D.C., plus 10 additional attractions, maps, and additional tips.
Washington, D.C., City of Majesty, monuments, and memorials. Our nation's capital is found on the east coast of the United States. It's located in the District of Columbia.
Washington, D.C. is situated on the east coast of the USA, along the banks of the Potomac River. The city has an area of just under 70 square miles, but it sure packs a lot in.
Planned city, which helps to account for the beauty of the layout and the architecture of the buildings. A trip to Washington, virtual or otherwise, is to immerse yourself in the history of the United States. The city is seemingly dedicated to honoring the many important people.
The city is a reflection of the entire country, its history, its achievements, and its aspirations. Washington, D.C. is a city of memories. Each monument is a reminder of the ideals that our country stands for, and the men and women who fought for them.
Welcome to Next Stop from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the ultimate American experience. On this episode of Next Stop, we'll experience monuments, museums, local music, and so much more. The fun starts now.
So you have art here now, or you're going to come here soon?
I am coming from exhibition.
So an exhibition is going to come here?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be great. People grew up with her. Absolutely. Everybody loves books and everybody loves purses. Yeah. Gregory, I really like your artwork. I'm so glad that I can read how many you like. It's here. Is that another one that we have to think
about? Marian and Jadwiga Kozielewski received political asylum and permanent residence in the United States through the efforts of Marian's brother, Jan Karski Kozielewski. They arrived in Washington in 1960. Yet Colonel Marian Kozielewski did not accept the government aid for political refugees and World War II veterans. He found work as a security guard at the Cochrane Art Gallery. My dear Sheikh, I wrote letters to my sister and your mother, and I somehow can't put together a letter to you, but if today I won't write it, I won't be able to for another week. This is the third time I've begun writing and then torn up what I wrote. It's a dead loss. I feel like I've torn out my guts after just a few pages. I've got the whole day free and the week is quite calm, but I still can't find the presence of mind. Sorry for starting this way, but this is just my way of warning you that compared to your letter, mine will be neither so pithy nor exhaustive, though my intentions are only the best. I read your very interesting letter in a flush of excitement. I see you've got yourself out of a real jam. I suppose it could have been much worse or simply awful. And you came out fine, unscathed. Thank the good Lord and your mama. I'm quite sure she was your guardian angel. You write rather evasively about your satisfaction in your job, about finding the right place. It seems it must have brought you a new lease on life, even if the voice of reason tells you to consider stability, such as, for example, your duties to your family. Consciously or subconsciously, you mention a third alternative, academic work, which you might find satisfying. If the choice were mine, I would not hesitate a minute, and I would place my bets on the last option to avoid spinning the wheels of chance, because this is what it amounts to in today's world, with all their stomping on freedoms, democracies, and social advancements, both here and there, and not only in our day, but also yesterday, and probably tomorrow. I believe academic work is the only thing that feels solid at present, so that should help your decision. Just keep on doing everything as you were, brother. You even got married at the right time. That's good. It is a true gift having an internal compass and chronometer. You might also call it a rational sensibility. Make of it as good use as you have, and everything will work out for the best. And remember your old friend from time to time, by which I mean myself. Kiss your wife's hand for me, squeeze your daughter, and stay in good health. Yours, Marian. My dearest Zich, thank you for your letter of May 12, 1963. I received it right on Christmas Eve with 2 splendid photographs, 3 reasons to rejoice. That same day during Christmas Eve supper, I presented the others at the feast, those photos nicely pasted on Passport 2, with the stomping grounds of the vision in which you battled. Am I right? While recalling my trip to the Świętokrzyska Mountains, including St. Katarzyna, Jadłowa Forest, and other places all those decades ago. Those times are far and gone. It goes to show how time flows at a dizzying pace with no shortage of cancelled plans. By thundering tarnation, you write soulfully from the soul, but also wisely and with grace. Clearly, you haven't wasted your youth or your present. You keep showing the claws of a noble beast. I won't get carried away and call you a lion. You are quite right to give up living abroad. There's no point in trying to explain to émigré Poles that they're becoming citizens of the world. The great majority are staying abroad for far more prosaic reasons. They boil down to bodily functions, as you wrote elsewhere, and the proof is that they're indifferent to the nation and the unprecedented loss of national identity by the second generation. I repeat, this goes for the overwhelming majority, not everyone, but the proportions are rule and exception. No point of even speaking or writing about the idiots there in Poland who breathe a sigh whenever the West is mentioned, blind to the old adage, the grass is always greener, etc. The price of our dubious prosperity, increasingly dubious as time goes on, is terrifying high and hideously unpayable. I have to curtail my thoughts, which means my claims might seem unfounded, but they're not. Thus, warn could be unnecessary because your letters show you've given these issues some thought, or at least you've read up on the subject. You'll agree that they could fill volumes, but the truth would remain the same. I imagine you're working hard. You're doing the right thing, putting aside a longer absolute rest for yourself. Spare your energy. I didn't do this enough, and now that I'm old, I can feel that my body is used up. It's constantly tired. It was in this state and affected by the kind letter from Stefa that I came apart at the seams, a bit in response, forgetting that I'm not the only one with problems. Apologize to your mother for me, and explain to her that I did it out of our old friendship, in a moment of weakness. The fact is, apart from my family, I've got literally no one apart from you and one semi-senile old lady in Zagwembia, the wife of my dead friend. No one else is close to me. Only today do I see that I had too few people around me. My close friends could always be counted on the fingers of one hand. I suppose this explains my gushing. I could finally cry on someone's shoulder. I send you a big hug. Kiss the hands of your mother, wife, and Krisha for me. Hug Zhiswap and all the kids. Yadka and I wish everyone a happy new year once more, and she gives everyone her best. Yours, Marianne. My dearest Jik, thank you so much for your letter from April, not from March, as your mother wrote, and do forgive me for not having written back, but I remain under the weather, and I cannot rally myself to do anything apart from earning a living, resting, and the most rudimentary actions. All in all, I'm going to seed. Everyone says I'm becoming eccentric, undoubtedly, but they do not see that at my age, it's not enough to eat and drink well, and to hell with all the rest. All right, perhaps for the local conditions we live even too well. My brother has given us an apartment in his home. We dine well, as everyone does. Groceries are inexpensive. We are seldom social because there's no one of interest around us. I carefully follow the Polish and emigre papers. I seldom have time for books. I keep my ear to the ground for recent events.
Space between Constitution and Independence Avenues extends from the Washington Monument to the U.S. Capitol building. The mall is lined with museums, memorials, and monuments.
Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and his stirring words express fundamental truths of American democracy.
But this merely saddens me. The wind is blowing against us. I have no opportunity to breathe the air of my country, though I need it to live. It's like bread and water. I help my family back home, but it's of little avail, not because of the quantity or quality, but for basic, inborn reasons. At times like these, can we keep our balance and a minimum of satisfaction in life? Is old age always so thankless, or only most of the time? With the constant maladies, infirmities, endlessly? Infirmity and a sharpened tendency to see through people for their flaws, frailties, and failures. As you mentioned, I would like to have the satisfaction of gazing at the Vistula River and recalling how I once wandered to Sandomierz and down along its banks. The heavens have denied me even these seemingly small and natural pleasures. I'm stifled among these dull Yankees. They act like dreary gangsters, and I can only pretend to ignore their plebeian vulgarity and primitivism. And so it goes, day by day, week by week, month by month, until my stinking demise. You too have times you stop and wonder. You sometimes seek a means to live, of leading humanity down the right path for mutual understanding, but at the same time, you work. You make what use of yourself you can in your home in Poland, and that is a great advantage which you must never take for granted. I have written to Kristia. I neither can nor want to repeat what was said so that it should never be repeated. She'll tell you when you see each other. With nieces and nephews or grandchildren, one can prosper and look to the future. Things are different and worse for us here. Stay healthy. Kiss your wife's hand and greet your daughter for me. Yours, Marian.
And it was about... See someone who knows that Todavía estamos deportando gente.
Curator of contemporary art here at the Cochrane. This exhibition, Washington Colour and Light, really captures a particular moment in time that was happening here in DC, and it was about abstract painting, and it was a groundswell of real creative activity that was going on in the city. In 1965, there was an exhibition called the Washington Colour Painters, and there were 6 artists in that show. They were all living here in DC, working together. They knew each other. They were visiting each other's studios. This was Morris Lewis.
Stretching and preparations and the installing of these pieces. Oh, these are massive. I would say these could be 25 feet tall by...
How are you going to come here soon?
I am coming from exhibition.
So an exhibition is going to come here?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be great.
As a material, and it's about activating the surface of the canvas. When you get to the later works and you get to the painting Fire Chief,
Es bien importante que le pidamos al alcalde de acá de Washington que nos aclare cómo es Washington una ciudad santuaria y todavía.
On July 8, 1964, during a night shift at the gallery, Marian Kozelewski committed suicide.
Struggling. My husband is on unemployment for the first time in our life. And it's unwillingly that we're taking unemployment. We want to go back to work.
Time for our state to be opened up. We're tired of not being able to buy the things that we need, go to the hairdressers, get our hair done. It's time to open up.
We're ready to stand defiant against this governor and open up business tomorrow. Lock her up! 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 Lock her up!
I know that people are angry, and that's okay. And if you want to take it out and send it my way, makes you feel better, that's fine. We know that this rally endangered people.
War by war, veterans have received the thanks of fellow citizens. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial honor nearly 300,000 soldiers are laid to rest in Arlington National Cemetery.
You've learned about Washington, D.C. in school and seen images of the city, but there's nothing like seeing the nation's capital in person. D.C. is best known as the home to the federal government, but it is also a vibrant city and a great vacation destination with a wide range of attractions.
Baker, the Trailer Park Queen, and I'm here at the Corcoran Art Gallery. And tonight there's a salon going on, and that doesn't mean getting your hair done. It means that there's a bunch of art people over this way and that way, and people that really enjoy music and art, and they get together and they talk about art and the influences of art. Behind me is some works of art by some famous artists. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. There's lots of music going on. There's lots of things to snack on. It's just a great event, and I wish you were here, but I'm going to take you right inside. I'll be right back.
P.S. You wanted a letter? You've got it, though it's a sad one, as luck would have it.